This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. With me in studio right now, I have a new guest, Scott Meier from Right Now Air. You know, Scott, you've been doing it for a long time. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was the relationship that a client might have with their warranty and what type of work they need to do to maintain the warranty. In other words, if I have a warranty on my air conditioning system, I can just call them up anytime it breaks and I'm fine. That's not really the case. You got to do some maintenance on it, don't you?
You have to protect your investment. You have to do maintenance, which is in your best interest.
Right.
Yes, there are claims denied by the home warranty companies for not doing maintenance.
Right.
But there's denied claims for a whole lot of other reasons also.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's they're in the insurance business. The first job of the claims adjuster is to deny. I mean, I'm not going to. I mean, you know, and they're very reputable for the most part. But their first objective is to see, is this a valid claim, and that they're going to go through a checklist of things, including the maintenance. Now, what kind of maintenance are we talking about here? What do we need to do for our air conditioning systems to maintain them, warranty or not? What should I be doing periodically for my air conditioning system?
Well, depending on the age of the system. If it's a newer home, I'm going to suggest you're going to go through the system all at the same time. Look at the heating, look at the air conditioning. You know, there's components that need to be adjusted, need to be tightened, need to be calibrated. You know, to make sure it's going to be working correctly in the summer and the winter. For optimum, it would be best to do heating sometime in the colder season, and to do the air conditioning sometime in the warmer season, because they operate based on temperature. So it's a little bit difficult to identify if an air conditioner is operating at maximum performance on a 45-degree day, okay?
Right.
But on a 110-degree day or even a 100-degree day, the temperatures, the pressures, the stress on that machine is different. So again, I think it kind of goes to the age of the equipment. If I had an older house with an older system, I would certainly be going through that with a fine-tooth comb, opposed to perhaps a newer house that was, you know, let's say 5 years old. They're a little bit different.
When we do home inspections and it's 110 degrees out, turning the furnace on is kind of risky or challenging, is it not? To test that furnace in that kind of heat, and then vice versa, testing the air conditioner, like you said, when it's 45, it's really a challenge to do that, isn't it?
Actually, depending on the temperature, it's almost impossible.
Right.
You can do it for a very short period of time, but because so much of the equipment and the controls are temperature sensitive, turning a furnace on a 110-degree day where it might be located in the attic that's 140 degrees, and that furnace has limits at 145 to 160 degrees that actually make it shut off. It's kind of hit and miss if you're going to be able to be accurate and make sure it's working correctly. Now, there are some things you can do, and you know, if you have the right gauges, the right meters, the right controls.
You can test it without turning it on, more or less.
Well, not necessarily test it without turning it on, but you can bypass some of the controls to operate for a short period of time to make sure you're getting the right operation out of it.
How many times a year or whatnot are you supposed to change your filter?
There you go.
Good question.
Big one.
Really
good question. You know, we tell our clients once a month. Now, the reality of that is, do you need to do it in the middle of the spring or the middle of the fall where it's barely running? Maybe you turn it on twice in October. Of course not, okay? But especially in the summertime, with the amount of runtime that is required to cool a home in Las Vegas, filters are really inexpensive. Air conditioners can be quite expensive. So it's just a good protection to do it once a month. We tell our clients, change your filter every time you pay the mortgage bill, you know? And then in the off season, in the spring and in the fall, can you go by 60 days? Of course.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with host Harvey Blankfeld. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.